Italy offers, within the framework I have just outlined, its willingness to make its own naval units available, clearly subject to the necessary parliamentary authorization required under our constitutional rules. This commitment is consistent with the work we have already carried out in defense of freedom of navigation. As far as we are concerned, we will do everything possible to help consolidate both the ceasefire in Lebanon, a crucial achievement also secured through the mediation of the United States, and the prospect of a resumption of negotiations to bring the conflict in Iran to an end. In short, there are clearly many open fronts. But we do not give up on building just, lasting and pragmatic solutions with determination and patience, as Italy seeks to do every day.
This war against Iran presents us with major challenges. We all want the Middle East to return to peace and stability as quickly as possible. We all have a major interest in this. Soaring energy prices must come down again as quickly as possible. And this war must not become a transatlantic stress test. Our message, in consultation with all our partners, is that Iran must end its nuclear program. It must stop attacking Israel and the Gulf states. And it must reopen the Strait of Hormuz reliably, permanently, and without payments of any kind for the free passage of ships. We have received some good news during today's ongoing talks, but this must be structured in full compliance with international maritime law so that there are no restrictions whatsoever.
We're very clear that the mission that we're putting together is a defensive mission and that comes after a ceasefire. So that's why we brought the international group together to indicate how we will play our part. And there are a number of elements. First, to deliver the diplomatic push for peace based on the fundamental principle that the Strait should be reopened immediately with no tolls and no restrictions. Second, that we need to manage the economic shock by avoiding unnecessary trade restrictions, supporting energy and food security, and supporting industry so that shipping can resume as soon as conditions permit. Thirdly, and crucially, we agreed to accelerate our military planning. I can confirm that along with France, the UK will lead a multinational mission to protect freedom of navigation as soon as conditions allow. This will be strictly peaceful and defensive as a mission to reassure commercial shipping and support mine clearance. We invite all nations with an interest in the free flow of global trade to join us. Some have already indicated their readiness to contribute. We will take this forward with a military planning conference in London next week, where we will announce more detail on the composition of the mission, and over a dozen countries have already offered to contribute assets. But look, reopening the Strait is a global necessity and a global responsibility.
The recent events are encouraging, even though we have to consider them carefully. We welcome, of course, the ceasefire between Iran and the United States. We also welcome the recently announced ceasefire regarding Lebanon. It has been respected as is. And we also welcome the announcement of the reopening, as a result of this ceasefire, of the Strait of Hormuz decided by Iran. All of these go in the right direction. We are all asking for the immediate full reopening, unconditionally for all parties of the Strait of Hormuz. We are asking for the reestablishment of the conditions of free passage that was in effect before the war and the full respect of freedom of navigation. We all oppose any restriction or any agreements that amount to an attempt to privatize the strait and, of course, any system of toll.
Due to the war in Iran, there are risks that such weapons and arms supplies to Ukraine could be compromised. And I thank all our partners who are ready to help and find ways to address this. Today I will also be participating in a meeting on the Strait of Hormuz. Many leaders are gathering to coordinate efforts to ensure security in the Strait of Hormuz. Now the world knows exactly where this strait is and why it is so important. And regarding this strait, the same arguments are being made that we heard about the Black Sea in 2022 to 2023, when the Russians tried to block our access to the Black Sea.